we have our mentor do a quick introduction. He's going to go over briefly what our plan is in terms of how we want to, structure the project. The floor is yours to introduce yourself.
I currently work as a software engineer at Google. Before that, I was at Austin for about 10 years. Then I graduated from UT Austin with a major in computer science. I've been doing development work since early days in high school. I was at the robotics club and I still do enjoy it as a hobby. If you do choose to go to this field, I think you'll find it very interesting. We're here to discuss the project. This is just a very rough design that I did, like an intro screen where either you can upload an image or type in what the problem is with your car manually through text. And then it'll show you like a result screens that's analyzed by OpenAI's GPT saying what problems it might have and so on. It'll have to fix and some overall, and we do want to keep it simple because I don't think it's our goal to over-engineer this So there are 4 pillars in this project. I think you've heard of GitHub. It's where you store your code. It basically has all your changes, your code. And then the main technology we're going to use for this project is called Next.js. It is a framework built on top of React. It's basically a library of useful JavaScript, HTML, and CSS functions that makes it easier for you to build a web app. You'll actually need to showcase this. We're going to use Vercel for this. It's pretty easy. You just link it to your GitHub repo and it does most of the things for you. And last but not least, we're going to try using one of the APIs provided by OpenAI. APIs are services that are ready to use that's provided by OpenAI. It does everything that a ChatGPT app does. So you communicate the text and the images through code instead of the web app they provide. We're going to use one of their APIs. This is a very rough sketch of how our workflow is going to be. We're going to break the features down week per week. We're going to introduce a topic, whether that's Vercel or React, give you a week to learn it, develop a simple feature on the app for it. And then on the next week, we're going to check that work and introduce to the next feature and so on. We're going to provide the learning materials and I can be in person on a couple of days during the week for in-person office hours. And of course, I'll be available to chat anytime via Slack. This is high overview of the project.
Thank you for the presentation. Do you have any questions?
Are the first 10-week lessons, or is it also contributing to the project?
That is, you will be contributing. We can't really just tell you to do it, right? So each week we'll do a brief, explanation and introduction to the tool we're going to be using. We'll assign you maybe a small portion of at least what you're supposed to do that week in terms of code. And we'll also have some working correct code for our purposes as well. That way, the next week, when you come with your code, we can kind of compare with a solution code that we have and go from there. They might seem overwhelming, but you can think of these as actually things that will help you because you've worked with HTML and CSS, right? But it's likely painful to do all the small things to make it look right and make it look pretty. It'll have components that have inner HTML and CSS code within it, but we don't have to worry about it. And then it'll just make it pretty from the start. So it's very, very convenient for you. And same thing with Vercel. Vercel is just a way for us to simply so that everybody can see. Kind of like how you have the GitHub website. In that case, GitHub was deploying it for you for free. But for this project, we will deploy it separately with Vercel. We want to make this project as interesting as it can be for you. You should be the one that's wanting to do this, right? So make sure that this is something that you really are passionate about. I think this is going to be a fun project because AI is fun, but it's not too complex and how we're using it. I mean, it's also about. Anyways, let's try to make it as most interesting as possible for you. And the second thing is we will always be there with you. This is not you're going to be on your own or kind of thing. We'll keep working there. If that's the case, thank you for joining today. I will update you, and later we can create a separate Slack channel with Notion pages for updates. Okay.
Yep, sounds good. All right, thanks guys.